Lugia for YST. His play is first turn, it's just Lugia. You can see what was discarded, unfortunately. Now for S9, it's a Munkidori, starting off with an Arven. So we will see what S9 grabs here. I would presume it should be a Buddy-Buddy Poffin to grab a couple of Snorunts. Now the deck plays quite a few techs. It also has a 1/1 Noibat Noivern EX line to go up against basic Pokemon. There's even a Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX. There's a Mawile. Also plays Cleffa, Manaphy, Chirachi, Rotom V. This is a stacked out, tacked out deck from Spencer here. So we will see what comes out. It looks like it's a Nest Ball as well as a Forest Stone for S9. So that's what grabs. Going for the Rotom V. Okay, so that would be an instant charge play available for S9. So wanting to have multiple options for turn 1. Most likely going to be using the Forest Stone, I want to say, to go into a couple of Froslass from Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Or will he try something else? I'm not too sure. We don't know what was exactly used on turn 1 by YST, unfortunately. We're going to stream a little bit late. But if there are Archeops in there, we should be able to get off and running in turn 2. Now, of course, the key card of the deck piloted by S9 here is that Froslass with its inverting Freezing Shroud, I want to say, which puts 1 damage counter. Each Pokemon has an ability except Froslass. And guess what? On YST side of the field, most of the Pokemon that you'll be playing do have abilities. And then, of course, for S9, being able to put some damage counters on your own Pokemon like Munkidori or even on that Rotom V, you can just, pretty much transfer that damage back onto YST side of the field with Munkidori's ability. Now we see 3 cards here from that is a charge, and now back over to YST.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that it does block out a lot of all these abilities, it definitely might hinder the acceleration that you can come out of the Lugia. Of course, already having even the Snorunt already activated as well.
That's what's going on here. We do have immediately that Lugia V-Star coming down. And immediately into the ability, into that Summoning Star ability for Archeops. 2 Archeops right. So they were 2 Archeops already in discard pile for YST. Perfect start here from the Lugia deck. There is a little bit of Fluttermane, which might come to play here in the following turn for you to be inactive and shut down one of S9's abilities in the active. YST immediately going for double Archeops here, double Primal Turbo, going for multiple energy cards. We get double Turbo Energy. I think that might be give energy as well as a V card. So quite a few energy cards here already in play for YST. And just making sure he knows what is his deck at this stage. Both players have decent starts. I want to say when S9 has gone for just one Snorunt at this point. Making sure that there's a Manaphy, probably knowing that there's a Wellspring Pokemon, able to take multiple price cards for YST, so preventing the snipe. And it's a simple knockout from YST in. And now we see the Froslass immediately dropping. So the damage will start to pile up, but can S9 weather the onslaught from the Lugia? Because it's going to be interesting. You're only putting 1 damage counter in between turns. You're going to need quite a few turns to build up damage. Yeah, exactly.
But how long can they actually stall to actually get there in essence? Because just looking at how things are going, this Lugia's going to look for those quick knots as well.
Well, it's going to come down to S9's other suite of attackers, right? He's able to perhaps bring a Mawile into active and trap a Pokemon from YST side of the field that will not be able to attack. But at this stage, regardless if it's an Archeops or even a Fluttermane, oh, we see an Elekid here. This is a tech card from S9. YST immediately doesn't pick it up. So the Elekid here, I believe, is an attack that does 30 damage to one of those Pokemon. It's a snipe attack for no energy. Cracking shot there on the screen. 30 damage to a Pokemon, and guess what? It does apply weakness on a Lugia, so able to build up extra damage on the Lugia. Or perhaps just take a snipe attack on a Pokemon on the bench. So now, S9 grabbing energies from the deck. Jirachi going into the discard pile. Not a card that you need at this stage. Retreating the Froslass into Elekid. Okay, dark energy on Froslass, perhaps to retreat it the next turn, but no Munkidori. To replace the one he lost in the first turn, or the second turn, I want to say. So here comes Elekid, doing 30 damage to the Archeops, and now the damage builds up. So we have a turn 2 Freezing Shroud coming out of that Froslass. It's only 1 damage counter per Pokemon though. So the question now is whether or not S9 is able to build enough damage before YST takes all prize cards. The key card here might be the Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX, which can take a knockout. If YST is not careful, S9 might take a knockout on the only attacker, only efficient attacker on his side of the field. His Captain Aroma. I did not get to see if it was hits or tails. I think it might be a tails. YST looking through his deck here for an option. Might be picking a looking at V-Star. So the question now is, will YST bench another attacker? Or will he just say, you know what, I'm going to take 6 prizes, I'm confident taking 6 prizes before you're able to take a single prize. And I just want to reiterate, S9 did take down a Charizard deck in game in the top 32 match.
And that's definitely no easy feat as well. So going up against something like a Lugia that's been known and loved and played so much.
There's a minion now from YST. His hand wasn't going too well. Definitely need to do something about that. Grabbing a supporter here, maybe going for a boss. Yeah, right away. A boss order onto the Froslass saying, no, I am going to make sure damage. Oh no, I'm going for a Rotom. So I'm going to raise you on prize cards. I don't mind taking 10 damage a turn, but I'm going to go into the Rotom. So YST is actually going on 3 prize cards this turn on just his turn at this stage. I think the players are just double checking what's going on at this stage, and it might just be a Tempest Eye for the knockout. And YST now 3 prizes to the good. S9, I don't think it's enough damage at this point to take down the Lugia. Bloodmoon Ursaluna only does 240. So here comes the damage. It starts to build up on every Pokemon that has an ability except for Froslass. S9, what can he do? Here is an Ultra Ball, perhaps second Froslass. Ooh, is that a... Interesting. Okay, Artazon goes into the bin as well. Now, Munkidori comes out. Yeah, Munkidori comes to play. So we will see an Adrenaline Brain. Yes, we will. We will now see some of this damage from S9 side of the field start to move across to YSTs, quickening the clock on some of these quite high HP Pokemon. You see that Munkidori, when the Pokemon has a dark energy attached to it, you may move 3 counters from one of your Pokemon to another of your opponents, or to an opponent's Pokemon essentially. And now we see the damage coming out onto the Archeops. Interesting. S9 here prioritizing the damage on the Archeops and Iono right off the bat, so YST's hand will be disrupted this turn. But Lugia doesn't really mind that. Lugia is a deck that is very flexible and versatile without a hand. Ultra Ball, Noivern gets discarded, or Noibat I should say. So we will not see the Noivern unless S9 recovers that somewhat.
It's got the technical machine Devolution onto it.
Not something that we need to see this particular matchup, but we will have a second Freezing Shroud. So now the damage on the field will be double. You will see multiple damage counters on each Pokemon with abilities, including S9's own, but he doesn't mind that. Having the Adrenaline Brain ability will get to move those damage counters. And here Cleffa, okay. Here comes Cleffa. So another free treat Pokemon, I should say. Elekid will be the cracking shot on the Archeops. So now, passing the turn across, 2 damage counters on each Pokemon with an ability. The damage starts to add up. S9 here probably playing into the potential Bloodmoon next turn. So YST now will have to figure out, does he have enough turns before S9 cleans up his board? We are going to see, I would say, one more damage counter, two more damage counters essentially on the Luminion. And here we go.
I guess that's the beauty of this deck. You just get to dictate how many damage you want to do each one of them, and the numbers are absolutely rising for the side of S9 across the entire board of YST. Definitely be handy to have the Ursaluna.
Yep, here comes the Mesagoza, so potentially getting a different attacker for YST on a hit flip. Yeah, so just checking on the damage. The Archeops are supposed to be at the same damage, I believe, because they were both down at the same time. So unless I'm missing something, or it might have been one of them has extra damage due to Crackling Shot. Okay, so Elekid into the discard pile. S9 here now up against YST. YST down to 2 prizes. If there is a turn for the Ursaluna, it's probably this turn. Superrod now recycling an energy as well as an Elekid. I don't know if S9 has enough turns here to take a win, but he definitely needs to take a knockout on this Lugia V-Star, who has been cleaning up on his Pokemon. Against Irida, we see Irida once again being the supporter that helps out so many decks. 10 pound in the previous match, and now Froslass in the second match. Ooh, an Unfair Stamp. Okay, interesting. So the question now is whether or not an Unfair Stamp here would actually come into play, because there is, I believe, a gift energy on YST's Lugia. So if S9 takes a knockout with an attack, it does not, well, it doesn't seem like he's going to use an attack at this point, because it will essentially trigger the gift energy. You don't want that after an Unfair Stamp. But here it is, Unfair Stamp played. YST would draw 2 cards, whereas S9 will get a fresh hand of 5, and I think players now are just checking with the judges about something. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so it was just a quick check on the shuffle. No harm done, we are good. Price subverted. 5 cards for S9, 2 cards for YST. So it doesn't mean that S9 will not go for the Bloodmoon this turn, because otherwise it will just reset YST's hand back to 7 thanks to gift energy. So it might be that he will just look to close out perhaps 4 prizes next turn, and then leaving the Bloodmoon Ursaluna in the active, which is not something YST will be able to knock out so quickly or easily for that matter. So here comes the damage from Munkidori TWM. Another Munkidori. S9 does run 9 of them, or 3 of them I want to say. And I was thinking about 9 damage counters being placed in a single turn. That was the most that you could do.
So actually going to hit the engines of the Archeops, stacking even more over onto the bench.
Yep, so we will see, I believe it should be about 120. Yep, so 120 on one of them. And I think 100, 140 on another. So it might be, so next turn will be interesting. S9 might just clean up on a number of Pokemon. So one of the Archeops will already go down. Oh, this is going to be quite close actually, thinking about it. Because while YST can go down to this last prize card, S9 might have the potential of just cleaning up the game after. Because the damage on YST's side of the field is permanent. You can't actually remove that damage. I mean, you could have with the Luminion, but not any other Pokemon. Here's a present research. I think YST is looking for an answer here. I don't know if he has any. There isn't any particular card that I think removes damage from Lugia's side of the field. So this is going to be an interesting situation. There isn't any, Professor Kuro's scenario. There is no Penny. YST might just be losing his type 4 in the next couple of turns.
Oh, quite the butler out there. He's certainly got a really good setup to actually kick things up. And right now, at the brink of it, what can YST do to secure 2 prize cards in specific? And I don't think there's actually much that he could actually get out of this situation.
So 1 prize down here, 1 more prize down for YST. On to the final prize. S9 here will take another prize himself. Well, 2 prizes I want to say, because it cleans up all the Archeops on YST's side of the field. You have pretty much no energy acceleration moving forward for YST. That's it. There is no more Archeops. And I think S9 might just be a spot switch through the game, because all it is now is just take a knockout onto this active Lugia, and all YST has is just a Luminion.
So
and I think S9 might just take the win here outright, because with the Munkidori's Adrenaline, he's able to take 2 more prize cards on to this Luminion, and then retreat into Bloodmoon Ursaluna, and that's the game pretty much. S9 gets a knockout on both these Pokemon, and that's it. Game 1 goes to S9. Froslass take the win.
That was so beautifully played out. And it just came in timing. You did mention about the Bloodmoon Ursaluna. It just came just to finish things off. And also how it actually went for Lugia. It was just going hard hitting at first. And then you just see S9's focus. You want to take out the Archeops. So you stack and you stack. And then when the timing was right, you take out the engines. You just don't go anywhere.
Yeah, it was just like a natural progression, right? Going after the, making sure